Welcome to another lockdown session on the Vitalise Rock and Metal Show. Today I am joined by the boys in the wild west of Wales. I've got In Which It Burns. How are you, gents?
Not so bad.
Good, thank you.
Good. How has lockdown been treating you?
Fucking boring.
Very fun. 7 kids has been hell.
Fair dues. Well, thankfully you guys have been keeping busy. You've managed to get an album ready. Silence the Nothing came out on November 20th. How was it to record? Were there any stories or difficulties?
Yeah, it took nearly 2 years. No,
I thought it only took a couple of months.
Yeah, you can sort off. You weren't with us, well. It started out pretty well. All was going tidy.
The drummer boy we recorded.
Yeah, Vinny decided then he didn't like his drums, so we started again.
I got a new kit.
Yeah, so we completely re-recorded the drums, and then thought the guitars don't fit, so we completely re-recorded everything.
I bought the bass player's ticket.
Yeah, it sort of fell out with the bass player just after the first lockdown, which kind of sucked because everything was ready. So we had to find a new bass player, go back to the studio, redo all the bass, and get it all finished as quickly as possible.
Fair dues. Sounds dramatic, but I've had a listen to the tracks you've put out. They sound brutal. How would you say it differs from the previous EPs?
Songs are better.
Bass sound.
Yeah, bass sounds pretty good. Amazing what you can get with a 50 pick.
Better with the drummers.
Yeah, you could have a lot better. You'll have to sort yourself out for that one.
Yeah, I will.
Yeah. No, it was. It is what it is. Man. It's done. It's out. We're moving on to the next one.
Yeah.
Fair dues. Already planning ahead then.
Yeah, we pretty much wrote best part of another album during lockdown, sending videos and recordings back and forth of riffs. What do we have? About 5-6 tracks after lockdown ready. Yeah. We're up to
8.
no, I think no.
Right,
We're working on the 9th.
Yeah, good point. Yeah, we're working on the 9th new one now, looking at a 10-track second album. And hopefully starting that in January. I think we agreed with me. Yeah.
Sounds excellent. We'll talk a bit about the current one that's just come out then. What would you say are your favourite parts or songs on the album?
Destruction of Faith Mind.
I like those bits where it goes silent between the songs.
Yeah, they're mine as well.
A ringing endorsement if ever it needed.
Yeah. If you don't like the album, just listen to the bits in between.
My favourite stuff all the acoustic stuff.
Yeah, we did have a lot of fun. Yeah,
I really love the outro to the Creed.
Yeah,
I'm the bass player, and it's got a bass bit in it. So that's good. But it's just from that bit where the bass comes in and then it drops out, it just goes. The intro.
That's nice. Yeah, we did. We had a lot of fun messing about with intros and acoustics and stuff when we were in the studio. So, Benny, your balls are ringing at me. Turn your balls off. Yeah, we had intros to all the tracks anyway, but when we got in the studio, we started using acoustic guitars and samples and all sorts of crap just to make it that much better. You know, stuff that you can't really do live.
Cover your mistake.
My mistake. A lot of my mistakes are covered by acoustic guitars.
My favourite part was not letting Stretch use his own tongue.
Yeah. Slowly pry them away from his tone.
No, you pry me away from my bass level.
I wonder why.
I like my bass level. Just normally I like a cover for a shitty bass player. Now I've got a good one.
It's fair to say that prior to the lockdown, you guys were building a pretty solid reputation on the live circuit. What would you say have been your highlights so far?
What, live?
In general.
Carlisle.
Yeah, the Carlisle was brilliant.
Aberystwyth.
Aberystwyth was good. Playing that was massive. It was banging. Well, actually, we made a lot of contacts, especially with Metal of the Masters and all the Scottish gigs everywhere. And well, you know us, we just play anywhere, anytime.
It's the one thing I've always said with Metal to the Masses. As a general rule of thumb, I loathe Battle of the Bands, but Metal to the Masses was the one I'd always make an exception for because of the contacts you could make, the networking you could do with it.
Yeah. No, we got to agree on that. That's we don't do Battle of the Bands. Metal to the Masses was the one exception because it's just a hell of a lot of fun. Everyone's, you're all in it to have a laugh. We never got in it. I mean, we got to the final in ours, but we never got in it to win. We just thought this is a really good gig. Let's see how it goes. And as it turned out, it was 3 of the best gigs we had that year. Yeah. It was absolutely screaming. Everyone gets involved, and the crowd gets involved. It's that's what gigs should be.
Exactly.
Yeah, get it. Yeah.
Oh,
Steve's just thought of another interesting live experience before we even got on stage.
Yeah.
He got screamed at by a Taiwanese masseuse.
Only after.
Yeah. He shouted through the window for a happy ending, and she lost it. She was scary.
Fucking you!
She came out from the end. Well, we didn't actually know she was there. She just suddenly appeared from behind the counter. I thought she had a sword or something. She went nuts. It was, yeah, that set us up for playing. Steve was looking over his shoulder the whole night. Runcorn is a bit dodgy. Nice gig, but it's a scary place.
Fair dues. Let's imagine then a time where COVID is officially done one. Then we can get back to playing gigs and some semblance of normality. What's left on the list to tick off for you guys? Where would you like to go with all this?
Win Metal.
Yeah, win Metal to the Masses, do Bloodstock, don't they? And just gig, and more gigs.
Go back to the Carlisle.
Back to the Carlisle. Yeah, Carlisle in Hastings is. You want to play there? Any unsigned band, signed band, who gives a shit? Get there, it's brilliant, an amazing venue, and the crowd is awesome.
Cumbria, to be fair, was pretty good to us the one time Democritus went up there. I can't complain.
Figure that when I go. It was annoying because we've got an online diary that we put all our gigs in, and for the last 7 or 8 months, every now and again, my phone's going, ping, have fun at the gig tonight. It's like, no.
Yeah.
I've left them on there just so I remember that I've got to get back to those venues and try and get the gigs that we haven't done yet. But it sucks. It really, as a band, I mean, jamming's great. The online gigs have been fun, but it's not a gig, is it? Yeah, playing live is who it would be.
That Creature Sounds gig.
The Creature Sound gig was fun.
That was an experience.
Yeah. Yeah, we did basically a silent gig, wasn't it?
Yeah.
It was really odd.
Best drum solo ever.
Yeah. We had Vincent with us, photographer, and we said to him, we've got a new track tonight. We're going to play this new track, and he likes our stuff. And he's like, oh, great, can't wait. But what we were doing was playing with in-ear monitors, and the only thing that you could actually hear out front was the drums and my vocals. And then all the sound was pumped outside to a cinema screen so that everyone could watch us play. So halfway through the song, we're jumping about playing guitar. Of course, we can hear everything, having a whale of a time screaming and shouting. And at the end of the song, I turned around to Vince and said, what do you think? What do you think? That was the new track. And he said it was the best drum solo he'd ever heard. It was really difficult trying to realise that he couldn't actually hear a goddamn thing apart from the drum and vocals, whereas we could hear everything. It was, it wasn't an experience, wasn't it? Do it again. Wouldn't do it always. But if that's the way gigs have got to go, then.
It's one of those things I've been saying across, I've been having the opportunity to interview all sorts of size bands since the lockdown kicked in. And it's one of those things that I've noticed is the bands that have chosen to stay busy, keeping ahead of the game, kind of advertising themselves, working on new stuff, trying to do the live gigs and stuff like that, I think do set to benefit quicker when things are back off lockdown. Is that something you'd agree with?
Yeah, definitely.
Kind of our plan, really. Just keep bugging people, stay in people's thoughts. So then when it's all over, I mean, I'm still sending the odd promoter. If they post something like, "Oh, we might put a gig on next year," I'm the first one in there going, "We'll play." So
we had gigs in October that we've booked since COVID. And like all through January, February, and April next year, we've got gigs booked. So it's like, as soon as we can do them, we've already got the books. Like we're not even going to be oh, it's over, we can start looking at buying gigs. We're already ready to go, kind of thing, with them booked for when we can.
That's it. Another thing I've said is that there's no right or wrong answer with it. You can either book ahead knowing that you might have to cancel, or you can hold off until you know it's up and running, but potentially then you might miss out on a few good early slots.
That's the thing. If you're booked ready to cancel, at least you've got a gig, maybe. If you haven't booked any, then you're just waiting. And bands like, I mean, well, us then, we've already booked in.
Yeah.
So if there are any slots available, they're going to be few and far between, because bands like us, and well, there's a few other bands we know are doing it. Well, during the first lockdown, a couple of weeks in, I was already getting on the promoters saying, "When's your next gig?"
A lot of bands.
Yeah. There's a lot of bands that are sitting on their arses going, right, second something happens, I'll be there. So it does do nuts in bands that sit around waiting for stuff. We go chasing it.
You do it now.
Yeah. Mine was stuck down there in the middle of bloody nowhere. If we didn't chase after gigs and everything, we wouldn't do anything.
Fair dues. Well, that just about takes up all my questions. Thank you very much for taking the time to speak with me, boys. It's been a pleasure. Hopefully we can check in again then when things are back up and running. Maybe that second album's a little closer to being released as well.
Yeah, we hope so.
Hopefully.
I'd
say by March.
Yeah, hopefully, but late February, early March, hopefully we'll have something.
And more Chinese
As long as we
people
don't
on its backs.
Yeah,
All right.
and we don't get bloody locked down again.
Look
As long
forward
as we-
to hearing it.
We're there.
Fair dues. Right, that's